स्वते नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् हरि ओम कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् I request all participants who can turn on video feeds, please do turn on the video feeds and we can begin our session. Yes, please. Our Gita Manan session is every Saturday. We aspire to look at the Gita in a renewed light. Any shlokas you wish to cover or any part of the Gita that you wish to cover, we can look at the same. Along with that, any question related to sadhana, anything related to Bhagavad Gita and our Sri Krishna, that is also something we would like to look at. Yes, please. Anybody? Anjali ji had suggested something in the group, so I request you to initiate ji. Yes, please.
My questions are on sadhana.
Ji.
So my first question was this: should my sadhana be a checklist? In the sense, do I sit because I have to, or should it be a love affair, like because I get to do it, or because I'm
Ha.
fortunate to do it?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Should sadhana be a checklist or should sadhana be a love affair? What is the difference between a checklist and a love affair?
One you do because you have to, the other
Okay.
you do because you want to. Is that the difference? I mean, a checklist is
Okay.
something that you say it is required that you do it, and so
We are mandated
it
to. We
becomes
are
something
mandated to
mandatory.
do it.
Yes.
All right, and no mandatory aspects can be in love, isn't it?
No.
And if it is there, it is not really true love, isn't it? And if we are comparing sadhana with love, we must first look at what is true love. True love is that love towards divine. That is said to be the highest form of love that human beings can experience. We feel love for plants, we feel love for animals, we feel love for fellow humans, we have associations, we have relations with different people, and slowly the level of love increases. But yet, everywhere there is this human element, wherever human element is there, there is a slight pollution or distortion of the human lower nature. So, the only way we can get rid of lower nature is through sadhana, and that sadhana should be like we can say, one sided love affair from man to God where we're not having any certain expectations. So I think, Sanjay ji, to answer this question, maybe it is something which comes from the heart. It comes as an offering, not because you are mandated or ordered. That is also there in the Bhagavad Gita from Adhyay 1 to Adhyay 18. Krishna has not ordered Arjuna. He has suggested, because that is also a love from the Nara. Nara is receiving from the Narayana, the love which is the divine love. And our job in sadhana is to try to, offer the same to the divine without any limitations. So, if I do not know, some more clarification in this light of question, what is it you would like to ask,
No.
Ji?
But sometimes in children, you often
Yeah.
have to begin as a checklist, which can later grow into something more deeper. Say in smaller
Yes,
children,
yes, yes.
yes.
Means we should have objectives, and even when you are you see, when you say with your spouse, you want to do some work, you have to make a checklist, isn't it?
Yes.
It is just no, no. I love my spouse so much, so I don't make checklists. It's not like that. When we have to do some work, we have to do a checklist, but we don't lose sight of our higher mission or the great. Like in a work, if we get obsessed with the work, that we forget our partner or our relation, which is higher than something which is divine, say with God. If in sadhana we forget divine and we focus only on our sadhana, that becomes a problem, isn't it? Because that is the human nature where we start to control, we start to impose, we have certain expectations, and I don't think we can prevent the origin of expectations inside all of us because by prakriti, expectations do come in whether or not we like it. So generally we start doing a particular sadhana. We get a diksha from a guru. We get a margadarshan that we want to go in this particular direction. And then I have been walking this direction for so many months. I have been walking for so many years. I have been walking for so many decades. And what has happened after that? Why have I not received? These questions come or not?
Yes.
Yes, isn't it? Sometimes some people, I have done so many years of sadhana. Now you don't teach me. Or I know method. This comes in because this is the part of what we, that is why they call, like I call it a pollution of human lower nature, which keeps coming everywhere. Because of Prakriti, we don't need to blame ourselves too much for it, but it is there, and that is what sadhana is required to continuously clear. And the mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram has said very beautifully. In sadhana, we have certain expectations. That expectations are that I need to get certain levels or certain progressions have to happen, or I need to move in a particular manner. But real sadhana is about giving away that expectation also. The divine may raise me when he wants. The divine may push me down when he wants. I cannot lose the, what we can say, balance. And that's connected with, I think, Rahulji's shlokas, which is selected on Sthita Pragnya. If we remain in that state without getting disturbed, then our sadhana will continue. And the most beautiful part is the sadhana of somebody who has become, I think one more very nice shloka Rahulji had shared. अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. Krishna says, I will do the sadhana for that person. I will take care of that sadhana because this person loves me so much. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. That person is always thinking of me only. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Ye jana Paryupasate. Tesham Nitya Abhiyukta. They are Nitya Abhiyukta. Means eternally they are yoked with me. They are eternally connected with me. Meaning I have given a sadhana. They will do the sadhana. They will follow the checklist, but they will never forget the giver of the checklist at any moment while they are doing it also. And at that time, Krishna says Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. A lot of people interpret Yogakshemam because the literal word Shema is like it is not going to reduce or it is going to be preserved, is what people say. But it's actually the Yogakshema in the sense the movement of the yoga of that person is going to be taken care of me. I will ensure not only will there be a reduction, the state of yoga will continue forever, which means there is going to be progression only. So that is like the promise of Krishna. So in light of your question once more, just it is this that we will not be mandated to do anything. It is means those who joined a little later, Anjali ji had asked a very nice question about should sadhana be like a checklist or should it be a love affair? So I think it should be we can say best to have a one-sided love relation with the divine without any expectation, and in that process, take as many checklists as we can, humanly possible. But or we can say we call it a bucket list, isn't it? Let's keep trying to do as many things as we want in our life and offering to the divine. As far as the other aspects, whether we get it, whether we get something in return, let that be in the divine's court. Let the decision be taken by the divine. Our focus should be on the aspect of offering without expectation only. Yes, Jim.
Um, my next question is, no matter how much we try, our mind sometimes wanders during japa because
Japa.
there are
Okay.
so many things here. There are so many things that keep bothering you. So
Okay, Jim.
then once you sometimes say 5 minutes later, you realize, oh, your mind has strayed away. So is observing that or realizing or noticing that itself is that dhyana? That can that be
Okay.
counted as dhyana? Because as human beings, we it's been proved in psychology also. It's impossible to concentrate beyond a certain time. Your focus can shift, or can your mind
But
can
that is
wander.
not proved in psychology, Anjali ji, because we have people with very good skills, our what we call avadhana kala shastris, no, those who have learned to focus at not one point, at multiple points with concentration. But that is part of our yoga, and like our Sanatan yogis, they have been able to focus, go into state of nirvikalpa or without a single thought also. the person is able to go into that state. But coming back to our question about, you said some thoughts come in always, or are they same type of thoughts, Sanjay, while meditating?
No. Um, Not the same type of thoughts. So you're probably in the middle of something, you have some work left to be done, or something that needs urgent attention. So there are so many things that probably cross your mind during japa. So
Okay.
what I want to know is, so if you realize that is noticing itself dhyana, or
It is a part. It is a definite part. We must go to a state where Krishna has called na kinchit api chintayet. Means you go to a point where you reached a state where not a single, it's like water is so, there's not a single ripple in the water in the pond. It is something like that, not a single thought coming in. And it is possible at some moments. That is the ideal which Krishna has kept in front of us. But to reach the ideal, we will never reach it on day one. Sometimes we have to aspire. And best part is we need not worry which day we reach it. But the journey must continue, and what, like you said, that is also one very beautiful thing. I think in the correspondence with Sherwindo, which we are having every Sunday night, there Sherwindo talked about this to Dr. Nirodharan about being able to take a step backward and observe. Because then slowly, as you observe, inside of you, the observer starts becoming more powerful. The observer is going to look at slowly and see that yes, these are the thoughts. Then you identify that these are thoughts. Where did this come from? Generally, when you are going to do a meditation session, you must try to dedicate a time where you don't have a set of works to do, or say if you have works also, decide your time for meditation. Let me take out 10 to 15 minutes now, and in these 15 minutes, I am totally out of network for people, unless, of course, any urgent aspect comes. But in such a situation, you will be disturbed by somebody and they will tell you. But until then, our mind, we should say, hey, I am not available for anything. Because, like in the kitchen, when you are boiling water, no, you cannot heat for a few seconds, turn it off, again heat, again turn it off, again. If you keep doing it, water will never boil. At least 2 to 2.5 minutes you have to boil nicely, and then only the water will start boiling. That is why that's how our tapabala will increase with meditation. But to be able to observe your thoughts is beautiful, because I know of a person who had really who had done psychology course, and she had studied, and then after she came and asked a question to her husband about what are thoughts. So many are not aware of thoughts only. To be able to understand thoughts, to be able to understand which are good thoughts, which are not required, and then to understand that these thoughts are interfering with my meditation, that itself is a process of evolution. It is a progressive moment, and maybe a time will come when the thoughts will cease to bother, and we have to give less importance to the thoughts and focus on the meditation breath. That is something which, because Krishna has told Shanaihi Shanaihi elsewhere in the Gita, when he teaches the two techniques of dhyana, he says slowly, slowly you have to reach that state with practice. So it's not a wrong thing at all, that as like you rightly said, and it is a good observation when we are able to see ourselves, we are able to understand better. That's generally for the type of meditation when you are doing with a closed eyes sitting dhyana, but then there are certain other ways of dynamic meditation when people are consciously doing some activity and yet in a state of meditation. At that time, it's all right. You can just look at your thoughts from afar, and sometimes people have dialogues with themselves. Sant Tukaram had gone to a beautiful Apala Samvad Apulashi. My great Samvad is happening with me. I am my own. I'm able to observe so much that you're able to see the difference. You're able to ask your own. I mean, sometimes you being your own critic is also an advantage, isn't it? If you can, you don't need another critic. And sometimes, without becoming overcritical, if you can just look at it passively, it's sometimes very useful. Anything in this light? Is this covered? The question was covered, Jay?
yes, it
Okay.
was.
Yes, Jay. Any other queries there?
Yes, the last one was, how does one handle spiritual dryness? There
Dryness,
are
yes.
some, yes, spiritual dryness. There are days when nothing feels divine.
Okay,
So
Jay.
is that a kind of failure? or is
No.
it Shraddha Pariksha?
Let us not assume a pariksha of Shraddha, because nobody can anybody do a pariksha of love. Or does the divine take a pariksha of our love? That's the big question. Sita Maya was asked to go Agni Pariksha by Sri Rama, or it was by the others, by the lower nature of human beings. Anjali ji, in Ramayana, the pariksha was
Yes.
but the divine never, there was never a slightest iota of doubt, isn't it? So our Shraddha, Krishna himself has told that Shraddha of a person is very unique, very distinct, and it's a very personal aspect. So he says others also not to question another person's Shraddha. If he himself says that, I think he will follow that, isn't it? So never is it a question of Shraddha by Krishna, but there are lower forces we call Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, like that, or the Asuri forces, divine forces they are always at play. So whenever we are on a part of sadhana, we will get certain, what we can say, distractions. Just for instance, the meditation part only. Like I remember when I used to first time sit for dhyana, I would suddenly feel a strong urge to itch here or here, some insect is there, or some feeling after closing my eyes. Now, it was not like a pariksha, then it was just a distraction, isn't it?
Hmm.
A distraction. So, this kind of distraction does come in our life. So, we don't have to look at it, but to feel states of dryness, I think this is a very honest and genuine question. Can somebody else also share your inputs on this? Do you feel such moments of dryness anytime as you are doing sadhana? Is it natural? Is it normal? Yes.
Actually, may I just Sushilji, say something?
Yes. Yes, please, Ji.
Actually, say there is one moment, and
Yeah.
in that one moment, we actually divide it a lot.
Hmm?
We think of what is happening in this moment. Are we
Mm-hmm.
divine? Is this not divine? Is this the appropriate way? Uh, um, is this a distraction? But
Okay.
instead, if we combined all these things that are coming to our mind and we gave that entire thing
Yeah.
to say uh, something like whatever we are doing or to the love of Krishna or whatever, I mean, whoever you
Yeah. Yes.
think of, that entire, say, let's call it a laddu. If we give
Okay.
that entire thing, then there is no question of thinking about the divine or whether whatever we are doing is divine or not.
Okay. Okay, Rachna ji. So I think Rachna ji says
So
that when you offer. Okay. Yes, you want to say something more? Yes, ji.
yeah, then the question of dryness will not arise because it's
But that
again
is the
it's a
ideal, isn't
mental
it?
activity. It's again
Yeah, it
mental
is.
activity.
Yes. Yes. So ideally, Rachna
May
ji
I
says
add
the
something?
guidance. Yes, I'll come to you in a moment, Renuji. So
Yes.
Rachnaji says that dryness does not arise. That is the ideal. But when we see, even in correspondence with Sri Aurobindo by Dr. Nirodharan, in the starting, every alternate correspondence would be, I'm losing the dryness. I'm losing the joy of sadhana. Is the master still looking at me? Is the grace still on me? So, or he would keep questioning. Again, the sorrow enters into my life. These kind of questions were asked by Dr. Nirodhan. Renuji was there. Renuji was adding
Yes.
something. Please.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Uh, on a
Yeah.
spiritual journey, it is very
Yeah.
much likely that we experience this spiritual dryness. What
Okay.
is it? As you had just explained right now, that we don't like to meditate, we don't like to do the japas on that particular days or those particular days.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean that uh, we are not close to the God. It is a
Okay.
journey.
Yeah.
What I have perceived, it
Okay.
is a journey, and it is said that when you are in that state, when you feel that
Mm.
there is a spiritual dryness, then you please go and meditate more.
Hmm.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah.
You just compel, okay, I'll
So,
just meditate or I'll do the japa for 5 minutes or 2 minutes at least. That will help you overcome that dryness.
Okay. So,
So it
Renuji,
is a
you don't
journey.
think
As
it's
we
wrong.
travel in a
It's not
train,
wrong.
uh,
It is a
as we
part
travel in a
sometimes it
train,
occurs.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, we see so many scenes. Okay,
Yeah.
suppose we are. I see only a mountain
Mm.
while I'm traveling on a train. That means I'm stuck. I'm not there. The train has stopped. The
Okay.
train has stopped. But
Okay.
after that mountain, if I see a river flowing, then there's a field. That means it is a journey, and we have to see all this. We have to perceive in us. We have to see,
Yes.
and we have to enjoy. No,
Yeah.
we don't need to think that we are away from God, or God is taking some tests on us.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Renuji. Thank you. Thank you for your insight. I think Anjali ji, Renuji just has very nicely said that in this sadhana there is an ebb and there is a flow. And there is sometimes this happens. It is not considered, we need not think the moment this happens, it is a complete disconnection, or we become very harsh on ourselves that, oh, I'm failing in sadhana. Because very beautifully, Krishna says there's no yoga bhrashta, isn't it? If you are on the path and you're moving forward, you are going to move. But some days the pace changes, like we go on the road on traffic. Sometimes the traffic is more and sometimes the traffic is less, or sometimes the traffic is very conducive. All signals are green. And suddenly, sometimes you feel not only are the signals red, it's almost like everybody is hell bent on trying to hit you only. That day, the traffic looks quite dangerous. So, these are all what we can say moments. But I think one more very nice thing Renuji told, it's like scenes, no? So have you watched something TV on TV? You must be watching some series. Have you watched any series on the online streaming platforms, OTT platforms? Yes, Anjali ji. Have you watched any series?
Series.
Series or
Um,
anything, any episodes or any or on TV, anywhere. You must
yeah,
have seen something, isn't it?
the Safari
So,
channel.
huh? Yes, ji?
The Safari
Okay,
channel.
so you, huh. But as a child, sometimes,
Yes.
yes, isn't it? So, what happens when you see one very boring episode? What do you say then? You say, sometimes if you're really hooked into it and you've decided you want to watch the entire season, you don't know whether or not. I have decided, like sadhana, we have decided this life we are going to do sadhana, no matter what. So when you watch it, what will you say? Arey, what is this? Director is not doing a good job. This is not a good scene, isn't it? So in our sadhana, when we are feeling dryness, it's easy. Krishna has said, offer everything. What is this? Hey, director, come on. We need something. Let's try. Like Renuji said, yes, you have to try to again do the same thing and try to find, because it's not only about doing what you love, it's trying to find the love in what you do. And sometimes it's a difficult thing, but it can be done. And our coach, had a very nice badminton coach. We used to just call him coach. So he was very little scary also, but nobody had dialogues with him. But he would do one thing. He would say once in a while, he would make us play a sport which we are not connected only. Suddenly he would say, go do football. Means our game was badminton only, but he would go play football. Go play volleyball. Once he had given a simple, he had told, go play volleyball, and whoever does not sweat will have 10 rounds in the ground. I did not know how to play volleyball. I kept jumping in one place so that I start sweating. The reason behind changing, though our sport is this and we are never going to enter into another sport as a career, the little bit of, like, mind has the ability to get acclimatized to certain things, and then the movement does not happen quickly. So at those times you can try to make some kind of dynamic changes in your own self, in your sadhana also. Maybe today I was reading something else, but now I have got used to it and I'm suddenly feeling dry. Try to read something which is going against your usual aspect, but do not lose connect of sadhana because it is dry, because then you are actually withdrawing from your own way of life. And really speaking, when you love the divine, when you have understood the need to follow the divine, you will never be able to stay away from the divine. Even if you go on a route which is not real, you will again be brought back to that route, because the experiences and your inner if, trupti also will come there only. But overall, I think, Anjali, if we look at in light of the inputs and insights shared, yes, sadhana is going to be sometimes coupled with moments of dryness. Sometimes I also feel, hey, what is this? Today's grace, not theirs. And especially when difficult moments come to us, no? Have I got disconnected from the divine? I think we have to disconnect from that thought only, nothing else. Because God is present with us, equidistant. He is caring and taking care of us. Is the question clear, Ji?
Yes.
Yes, Ji. All right, Ji.
Yes.
Fine.
Thank
So, all right, Ji. And if any other queries are there, or Rahul Ji has come, he has suggested some shlokas to look at also. We could look at the same. Yes, sir.
I had question on Sthita Pragnya last 2 3 days.
Pragnya.
Yeah,
Okay.
chapter
Yes, sir.
two. What
Yes,
is the
sir.
definition, and if we can revise that, because it is such a beautiful thing. Right in chapter two, Bhagwan is talking about the highest state to be in. So
Yeah.
please, it will be very nice if you can
Yes.
open it up for us and those shlokas.
I think 54th shloka is there. I just randomly opened. I could find this page right now. It is the 54th shloka of the second adhyay. And
And
it's a
continues till
question.
I think
Yeah.
72. He continues the same flavor. 70.
Yes, yes. So we may not look at all the shlokas, but we will
Okay.
look at in
The
some
main
lights.
one.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you had also posted a message in the group about what we can say certain shlokas.
Yes.
So we could look at that as well. But we will just, instead of the shlokas, we will focus on the question and we have a slight reference to the shlokas.
ठीक है.
So, little bit more about the question on Sthita Prajna, sir. Rahulji, from you, what is it that you in the Sthita Prajna? What is it that you are having like certain things you
So
feel?
first is last, few months have been just thinking, what is pragya? One is
Okay.
buddhi. We have intellect, which does the thing. But what is pragya? So pragya, whatever I'm picking up is when wisdom starts to come, which means your knowledge gets integrated as an experience, not just by reading and talking and things like that, but into true experience is I feel where the pragya starts to awaken. Now he's
Yes.
taken it even one level up, which is Sthita Pragya, which is like even one level above the Pragya. So this is what little bit I
Yes.
know, and I
Yes,
thought
sir.
it will be nice to.
Okay, sir. So yes, sir, I understood the direction now, sir. Yes, sir. So this Tita Pragnyas is like now Pragnya is something which is a awakening
Hmm.
of an inner. We can say even opening, slow opening of the inner eye also is
Hmm.
connected with the awakening of the Pragnya.
Hmm.
Pragnya is like a flame. Like if we when it is said the different ways to make it awaken inside of an individual, there are ways like japa, dhyana, or even asana, pranayama also awakens the prajna. Like, for example, we have this nice anulom vilom pranayam, isn't it?
Hmm.
That anulom vilom, it has what we can say the ida and the pingala. You engage in the pranayam that awakens the sushumna sthana, or it is with the state of prajna only. So the prajna awakens in the sense your ability to see things becomes much more clear. What we call the awakening of a buddhi, which is not just the intellect, it is something which is higher, a higher awakening, which Krishna is telling in Gita elsewhere also that there are levels of consciousness. Indriyani paranyapur indriyabhya param manaha manasastu para buddhi yo buddhe paratastu saha means the level of the indriyas are the lowermost level of the realms of the senses. So then there is something higher than that. The senses, it is the mind. But then higher than the mind is something which is the awakened intellect. And even beyond that is that supreme divine. So the prajna is a seat of our viveka. We will become Vivekananda. Narendra becomes Swami Vivekananda by virtue of awakening only. The prajna awakens and a person gets transformed. The Valya, the hunter, will become Rishi Valmiki. A ordinary individual will become transformed into a divine individual, and that is why sadhana must be done to awaken the prajna, so that even our Sat Asat Vivek Buddhi gets activated. You are able to see clearly. This is Shreyas, this is Preyas. This is Sat, this is Asat. At every point, you are able to. No more is the. Your inner compass will get activated and you will know your direction to move. It is something like that. It is like you get your own map device app which will allow you to move where you want to. For that awakening of prajna, it is very essential to have it sthita, because there are people who get awakenings in moments. Means at certain moments, people are very brilliant. Means because they have somehow they have learned a way of becoming, as Krishna says, yoga yukta. They become one with the divine, but that is not sustained, isn't it? A poet gets brilliant inspiration and writes wonderful poetry. But sometimes the poet does not really stand by that poetry, isn't it? I
Hmm.
think, have you felt this? Sometimes we get shocked. How? How did this person write this? And then we start doubting the individual and we say, see, this person is like this. No, not at all. I would also say never trust a poet by his poems. Always trust a poet by the actions only, because in moments of inspiration people write certain things, or in moments of inspiration we receive certain things, but that inspiration is lost. Ravana also is born suddenly.
Hmm.
The same sadhak who has reached the highest state by sadhana, who has overcome the influence of all the grahas, who has even pleased our Mahadev Shiva, the same person also does the action of apaharan of Ma Sita. How is it possible? Well, this is a distinct. That is why the prajna should not just be awakened in bursts. Somebody gets the realization, then that person keeps talking about that realization throughout life. And but that has that realization been sustained?
Hmm.
We sometimes we read so much, we understand so much, but we read, understand, and how much do we talk, and how much do we live? That's a big question, because sometimes there are people who not do not live at all. And then that's whatever, they are holding on to a trickle of some connection which they received at some point, and they try to stretch. It's like, uh, chewing a gum even after all the rasa is gone, and it's still continuing, and then it's ultimately, it's not palatable also. So the prajna has to be sthita. That is what Krishna says. If we just see, if we are in that, if we just realize there's two shlokas of 52 and 53 only prompt Arjuna to ask the question of Sthita Prajñasya ka bhasha, because Krishna says such a person is not just awakened in having a halo around his or her head and is now radiating a consciousness, but that person is living, walking, and talking in a state of samadhi. He says, the mind is no more disturbed. Yada te moha kalilam buddhiravyati tarishyati tada gantase nirvedam shrotavyasya shrotasya cha. When the mind, thus element, becomes desire's web, it overcomes. One becomes free, detached, and undisturbed towards all that was and all that will be heard. First, the mind is no more disturbed by anything in this state which Krishna is talking about. He's introducing the prajna concept of Sthita Pragnya. His mind is not going to get disturbed. If somebody calls you saint, somebody calls you sinner. Should it make a disturbance inside? I had a very beautiful experience just a few days back. I got a notification. We lost some money because our account got hacked, and our ad campaign suddenly we lost all the money. And then we are trying to, raise the tickets and try to resolve this hacking. I suddenly got a phone call from an unknown person, and he was screaming at me in Tamil saying, "You perverted person, what have you done? Useless, I'm putting a complaint against you. You have done video calls." And I was shocked. But as I was shocked, I tried to understand this person is in some trouble and he's accusing me. I tried to talk to him. He said, excuse me, what is this? Have you received from my number? What is the matter? What is going on? And after 10 minutes, he tells me the number is something else and he's called me by mistake. But you just look at it, the sequence of events which has taken place. Here, a doubt has been created that my account has been hacked. This is how moments are, isn't it? We can say some force must be laughing at creating this. But even then, I am still grounded because, hey, I know accounts can be hacked, so I will keep extra alert. But just look at all of this. And to that person, if I had also got Rajasik and responded and how dare you question me and all of that, it would have, I do not know how long it would have taken to, at least 10 minutes. I heard a lot of galis because Prarabdha was there. I had to receive it. But at the end of 10 minutes, at least I got a peace of mind from that individual. I just said, sir, I'm a family man. Please next time confirm the numbers before calling. I really was a little worried that my account was being used for some other purpose. But if you understand this aspect of truth, that we cannot get disturbed. If we are doing sadhana, our mind should remain firm towards whatever we hear and whatever somebody will talk. So your closest friend will give you the biggest shock, and yet you will not be shocked by it. Would that not be special? My dear ones are behaving in such a manner to me instead of how dare they, or sometimes people have extra superior complex. Oh, I am on the most greatest spiritual path. My path of spirituality is better than everybody else's. See these people, they are in darkness. Look at the light. I am the sun only. And look at all of these people. See how inferior they are. Again, that is a disturbance, no? Instead of that, if you can just stay calm and quiet, whatever you hear, how can this person say, or how is, let that the person has a mouth and the person will say something. It may be sensible, it may be nonsensical. Even a person who is awakened, for example, if we even have some place, say sometimes somebody we trust a lot, and even when the trusted person say, how will we react if a trusted person says most untrustworthy things? That is my question. Anybody, how do we react when a trusted person, somebody we trust so much, speaks absolutely untrustworthy things? Yes, sir?
Blame, blame, bitterness. So many
Ha.
times there is so much blame and bitterness,
Yes,
which
sir.
you untrustworthy.
Ha. Declare that person untrustworthy, hence persona non grata, write his name entry into the bingo book of our life of bad people. See, I knew this person was like this only,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Instead of that, if we just understand, okay, this person has now tuned into a different frequency, Faltu channel is going on right now. This is no more a, that individual remains the same because we are not going to make distinctions or bheda. Gita is about removing all bhedas. We are not to pass judgment on anybody and even not on ourselves. We just have to try to align with the divine. What is karma? Karma will take its due course. But if we align here, if we align there and understand, so that is why Krishna says, whatever is heard, shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Many times through our ears, only the force of disturbance in the heart, palpitations, and all things start because some force enters through the karna. This is a very dangerous indriya. I heard this about you. Oh, okay. Your relation with the person is spoiled because somebody, some Shakuni has come and put something in your ear. But you see how dangerous it is. And Mahabharata can take place, isn't it? In our life, also sometimes permanently we disconnect with people because we have got so used to conditioning ourselves into okay, this is right, this what I have got it from you. Instead, if you are a little balanced, you will be able to observe. Sometimes moments come in life when your own people behave a very different manner. They may behave in a way where you cannot tolerate. You can say this is absolutely against the spirit of what you understand. Forget ideal, it is not even practical. And yet you have to deal with it. And how do you deal with it? Again, Krishna says, what is it you are dealing? Forget the fact that you are dealing because as long as you are disconnected from me, you think you are dealing. I am dealing with your problem. Beta, you are having this problem. Think about all the problems that I have, is what Krishna is saying, and I am dealing with it. Why are you bothering? Just be calm, just stay calm and watch how things take place. How I will move the chakra is what he says. When in that shloka also, that yoga kshemam vahamyam, he says, I will take care. Be connected. Your aspect is to be Tesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam. Those people who are Nitya Abhiyukta. They are permanently yoked in oneness with me. They are always connected with me. Yogakshemam Vahamyam is his promise. So he is going to take care of sadhana, he is going to take care of life also. For that, we need to enter into the state because Krishna says, when you are in that state, as we go to the 53rd shloka, He says, Shruti vipratyipannate yada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhis tada yogam vapsyasi. When from the disturbances of all that is heard, you become steady and unperturbed, an awakened state of samadhi is then attained, and a union with the divine is obtained. Meaning, when you are really free from these disturbances and you are steady, you are balanced, you are what we call Sthita Pragnya, then Krishna says you enter into a state of samadhi. You have become one with the divine, or now your entire balance has been transferred, like you're leaning onto the divine only. Whatever the moment is, you have clearly understood that now, this moment also, I know my Sarathi is there. It's okay. The road is bumpy. Let's not blame the Sarathi. He's going to drive me through the bumpy road also. It's all right. I may face a little bit of bumps, but hey, he's taking me ahead. Why should I complain? Tomorrow he will, after taking me across, he'll make that road smooth also. He's so great and so sensitive. But maybe he feels I need to experience this bump because my head is elsewhere. So thoda sa head hits in the car. Sometimes the head hits the roof, isn't it? And we don't understand from nowhere it has happened. Well, maybe he's trying to shake us and make us awaken. There is also a beautiful truth that Krishna does not shake us unless it is necessary, deemed necessary by him. This, he tries always to look at the path which is having going to cause the least resistance to the divine will and the least trouble to the instrument. If Krishna uses the instrument properly without interference of the instrument only, it would be the most smoothest ride, and it would also mean that the instrument will have a very good long life. But where that disturbance happens, this fluctuations take place. But again, if we recognize that this is also all right, we can laugh at it and we can still. Yes, Rahulji, you were saying something?
Yeah, this is stirring a few more questions in me.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Yes, sir.
One is, in the first chapter is Vishad, and then Bhagwan starts with chapter 2 and takes it to the height of Sthita Pragya. I
Yeah.
mean, somebody is in a great depression, and from great depression, Bhagwan, the next chapter itself is talking about, in a way, such a high
Yes.
thing like Sthita Pragya. So, what is the psychology of doing that? Because
Why is it? Huh?
this
It's
is first.
actually okay, sir. Just come to this and then I'll come to the second question. If you can remember the
Ah,
question. Yes,
yes.
sir. I'll just, yes, sir. So it is like how we can say, here is one person who is feeling what the sorrow is there in my life. Zindagi is full of sorrow only. Everything is there. And suddenly to that person, Tukaram's Abhanga, Anandachi Dohi Ananda Taranga is being introduced.
Correct,
This
correct.
Anandachi Anga is everywhere. It's just Ananda Lahari is going everywhere. That feeling, if you tell it, but maybe that will at least shake him. Oh, this is
Uh-huh.
absolutely crazy. It's like, okay, there is absolutely diametrically opposite height, which I am now at abyss, but
Yeah.
I know at least what is the height I have to reach. And in the process, at least if I know I have to reach that height, I may not reach that height. I'll at least try to, take a step forward, no? So
Hmm.
Krishna is keeping the goal directly in front. Ki, hey, you're crying over something. It's like you're just wondering about, say, business. I lost a little bit of. Some people have when they are in business. I lost a little bit money here, which I invested.
Hmm.
He said, hey, look at that investment there. If you're worried about investment and returns, this is an investment which is you're worried about. Look at those returns there. There's going to be no loss only. So it's trying to push him there. And the best part is he tells the way of going in also. Because sadhana is, Krishna is also everywhere. A lot of people interpret yoga kshemam as also what that he's going to give material happiness.
Hmm.
My it's not that Krishna is talking about a real what we call a wealth which will keep growing. It is not just the material; it is a prosperity of a life only. So slowly he tries to take Arjuna. So I think it's sometimes it is good to suddenly shake a person and make a person see this is if because if he attaches, if Krishna also tries to, I understand your sorrow. Ah, yes, yes, it is true, it is right, then it would have been 500 adhyas.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
takes much more time.
Second question is that um, samat sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labha jaya jaya.
Jaya
That
Jaya.
spirit
Yes, sir.
is that spirit of
Hmm.
this shloka, and the spirit of uh, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, which means yoga
Yeah.
is total
Yes, sir.
equanimity,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and this Sthita Pragnya. This is the same spirit, is the same thing that
Yes,
he's.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is one line, so it is just like a same sutra only,
Uh,
where Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. This is a great, like a Mahavakya of the Upanishad. What is yoga? Samatva.
uh,
Meaning itself is a corollary. Asamatva is Viyoga. I lose my samatha because my friend, my brother, my sister, my son, my mother, my father, whatever relation I give, because of that, if I'm losing some state of samatha, let me understand that I have become separated from, I'm not no more yoga yukta. I have become a viyogi. I'm not a yogi now. So the samatha is important. And samatha, because of what are the factors? It's like 100,000 factors are there to disturb samatha in the world. Mostly, you can just use one simple word of that. What is the factor? If you want to give one single word to these 100,000 factors, which are like so many rakshasas or asuras which are taking forms, but they have all originated from one only. It is Asha. Krishna says in the Gita. Asha pasha shatair baddhaha. 100 bonds of desire bind. It's like, and we have been somewhere in our general system of education or life trained to hold on to ashas. Like in a particular country, the constitution has it says you have the right to pursuit of happiness. It's a right that has been invested, it has been vested in every citizen according to the constitution. So all the citizens are running after the happiness because of if they are following the constitution. But there is a problem in running after happiness. It is like the dog is running after its tail and trying to catch the tail. It's not going to happen, isn't it? It will be just running in circles. So most of the time, the samatha is lost because of asha. And at that time, we should not listen to the song like Dil hai chota sa choti si asha. We will allow that choti asha to enter inside, and without our knowing that small asha will suddenly, it will be like a, what we can say, a beautiful garden. You're planting a weed. You've already done all the hard work. You've cleaned up the garden, planted all different flowers, and it's like the mother has given spiritual significance of each flower. So you have planted a flower of each special significance in your beautiful divine garden of sadhana. And suddenly, in the name of Asha, you have planted a weed. And that weed will slowly take over the entire garden. So the samatha aspect is lost. Whether it is, I had an Asha that people will praise me. Labha, I had an Asha that I'll be successful. So that did not get fulfilled, and so I am disappointed. I have had an Asha that I will be successful. At least this much desire is there. People will respect me. Some people have that feeling. At least these people should acknowledge me. I don't want much. I don't want much. I don't want to be treated like a king and given a crown or anything. I just want a small acknowledgement from these people. Let them at least say I exist. Forget anything else. They're treating me like I'm not existing. And then what is going to happen? Forces are going to hear that, oh, this person has this asha. Right. Excellent way to enter. They'll ensure that even that little praise that you are expecting, that is not going to come, and it's going to again build sorrow in your life. What is going to happen with sorrow there? Your sadhana is only going to go astray, isn't it? You will not be connected with the divine. So when we talk about these forces, because there are forces at play, whether you give a personality to it or don't give a personality to it, there are forces which are always there to disturb our connection of yoga or connection with the divine at all times. We don't have to make it demonic forces, or we just let us consider them as constructive and destructive forces. If you just impersonally watch these forces at play, at all times they are there, and we have to always maintain samatha to ensure that we are never moved away. And that is why it is a challenge of life, no? That is the challenge of our sansara, and we have to remember that not to worry about this. Even if it's a Mrityu Sansara Sagara, the Sarathi is going to take us in this birth or the later or the journey before, journey after, everything he is taking care. Our job is to have some trust in the divine and keep the balance or samatha.
So
Yes, sir.
when so when many times it happens that we are choosing a spiritual path over a material pursuit. Okay, we have choices, right? Every time life is throwing choices,
Yeah, yeah.
and we take the spiritual path or the Krishna's path. The inner voice is saying this is the way to go now
Right,
in
sir.
life.
Yes.
And in that process, it is hurting other people. You don't want to hurt people, but
No.
people are feeling hurt because they have attachments with you and things like that.
Yes.
Now again, you may even inside you are apologizing that may forgive if by even unknowingly I've hurt you, etc. But people don't listen. At
No.
that time, one is praying to Krishna, just take this thing ahead because I do not have the power to do it. But
Mm.
but it's a very difficult phase because people are feeling hurt because of you for no rhyme and reason because they are not seeing the larger.
No. But this is always the case, no, sir. Our Krishna was himself accused of breaking so many hearts, no?
Hmm.
Krishna himself was there. How Gandhari had cursed him. You have destroyed families. Look what have you done. You do not care anything about anybody. So I curse all of you. I curse you and all your generations to come that you will suffer. And here he says, Ma, you are saying I have no feelings. You felt only from your perspective. Look at mine. Look at mine. I have all sides are my children only. You lost some children. I lost so many children. So on the spiritual path, when one moves ahead, at that time, one thing Krishna has clearly said, there's no difference between material and spiritual. He creates a very beautiful, like he has a very divine eraser, which erases that divide. I am not materially, I'm different or spiritually. I'm living the same life. I still have two eyes, I have ears, everything. And if you walk a spiritual path, will that make any difference to our uh, physical life? The way of life may change, but physicality and everything. So maybe materially, that maybe there may not be such a, because the hate is there, the mind that does not understand. So they feel you have taken the opposite step. Those who are not on the spiritual path will consider you as a outcast or a heartless person or a many beautiful aspect. People have will say pagal ho gaya. That's the this is why this has happened. The person has some chemical locha in the head only, or something has happened. So this is misguided. All these aspects happen. But again, our job is not to look at other people's perspectives, no matter who it is. When one perspective matters is Krishna's perspective. What is Krishna's perspective for me? Even my perspective is not important. I'm not keeping another person's perspective as inferior to mine. Mine or everybody's, we say, Sarva Dharman Parityaje Mamekam Sharanam Raja, Krishna says. So their dharma is towards the divine only. So on the divine path, if you have to take us, if you are walking over eggshells, they are going to crack. No, if somebody is going to cry, "Ki, why did you crack the eggshells?" You cannot do anything because eggshells are going to crack, and you have to walk ahead, no matter what, whether they are eggshells, whether they are thorns. You have decided you want to walk ahead. You will walk ahead alone. You will walk ahead with company. You will walk ahead irrespective of anything because you are walking towards the divine ultimately. And the onus of acknowledgement, nobody needs to have acknowledgement. I mean, let a person, I remember telling actually someone very close to me, I do not want to, because session is recorded, I don't want to mention the name, that you will understand what I have taken. The decision is right. So after, and that day you should acknowledge what I had asked. So after 10 years, that moment came, and then the same individual acknowledged what I did. And I said, and means he said, this is a good thing that you're doing. I said, thank you. Do you remember you had told you would acknowledge? The person said, yes, I will acknowledge when the time is right after 10 years also. So I should not wait for any acknowledgement from anybody. As far as possible, we must not create a divide in other people's minds. Let them understand what we can, from our efforts, But beyond that, our journey cannot be stopped because of somebody's emotions. Krishna told Arjuna, "Hey Arjuna, you are my most dearest, my beloved. If you ask me, where am I in humans among Pandavas, I will say, I am Arjuna only. Because that is the truth, is what he says. And yet, to the same Arjuna, Krishna says that, Hey Arjuna, even without you, I can further my will. Look at the example of love that he is having and the willingness to let go of his most beloved also. So I think, but the main aspect is, if I think Raj Rahulji said, convincing someone close to us. We must try. We need not lose our, connections. We need not lose our connections. Even if another person severs a connection in our heart, we will not break connections with people. And we can try to explain that maybe there is no such a difference between material and spiritual life that you are thinking of. The life is going to be the same. I am going to remain the same. There is not, at least Bhagavad Gita teaches me that there is no Veda at all. The saint is also one, the sinner is also one. Both are walking on the same path only. They are going to go towards that same truth ultimately. The pace may be different, but I have chosen this path. You can acknowledge me at this particular point in time of my life. I have taken a decision. It's an informed decision. As an adult, as an experienced individual, I have the right to experiment. And even let the individual say, okay, if I don't succeed, it's all right. I will come and tell you. I will if I don't succeed, because the righteous path never fails. But everybody may not declare your path as righteous. Oh, it's all right, I think, Rahulji. I think that is all we can think of, because if we lose our balance because of emotions, which are also in asat, because emotions of somebody else, most of the time emotions are lower emotions. They are not the highest divine love which is going to see beyond perspectives and see the highest divine truth. It is only going to be some amount of mishram of some kind of attachments and some emotions and some expectations and so many such factors. But if we allow ourselves to be bound by something of this, we will not be able to move ahead in our sadhana. Means our journey is, it's a very long journey, and so many peaks have to be scaled. The journey is brilliant, the journey is beautiful, but the journey is also so much heights. We have a great plethora of yogis in Bharat who have reached so many levels of consciousness. And we know our time is so short on earth. I cannot say I will live for next 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. I cannot guarantee. I can say, yes, I want to live at least for another 40, 50 years. How beautiful it would be if I can spend that much time with my loved ones, giving them company and learning and growing. But life is so short. We have Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, all four truths standing with us at all times. Whether or not we like it, it is there in front of us. So, in that short time, how much can we allow ourselves to be pulled down? And if people who want to complain will complain. Maybe they will see when time, Kala is a healer, no? Time will allow people to heal. As long as you are not hurting anybody, as long as you are not willingly harming anyone, you are walking a path which is connected to your heart, which is your understanding, your divine is here. And then this aspect of it is just with love, we have to see and maybe awaken the love. But that awakening of the love is also not our responsibility. Like I said, acknowledgement of one person, 1% acknowledgement which we want. Okay, at least this part you agree. Means when we have so much logical discussions, okay, all of this I'll write 1% I am correct. Can you agree? Then that 1% won't be given to us. Even that 1% will not be given to us. So why are we entering into this deal at all? Let us not enter into. There's no terms and conditions. You call me what you want. I can go the way I want. You can go away. I'll not force you to accept or acknowledge. Then probably that will allow us. And the only way we can get this way else forward is also samatha. Because very recently, my experience was that small acknowledgement. I just wanted to be acknowledged that, yeah, don't acknowledge anything good. At least acknowledge that I exist and say I'm bad. That's fine. But at least I exist. That was one acknowledgement that I wanted, and that was the one acknowledgement that was being denied to me, and that was the reason of internal struggle. That was something which was pointless. And then when suddenly that one point, I realized, hey, come on, isn't this childish? Isn't this a childish want? You know you're living, breathing, talking, you have your Astitva, your Astitva is Krishna only. If that is there, what is it that you are seeking from, and from whom, and for what are you going to get with that acknowledgement? What? So I'm not some president of some country who likes shiny medals that I want one more medal of acknowledgement. We have seen there are the Shrestha yogis who never really wanted to get any acknowledgement, isn't it? So, but the aspect of samatha is the same thing. If the samatha is lost, our sadhana becomes unsteady because there is no steadiness. And the way Krishna says is this only. And if you see Sthita Prajna also, if you just look at the essence, it's all about becoming like a kurma, like a tortoise. You are withdrawing from the indriyas because now, like what I hear, like what I see, sometimes people are very good to emotionally blackmail us, and then our eyes see, and then immediately our eyes start watering, or our eyes get frustrated, or and from the eyes, from that indriya it comes. And that's why it is said, withdraw from all into the heart, become so quiet. I had a very good experience of watching one Sthita Pragnya, where that individual, he was absolutely insulted by his own children, and that too not in the starting of his life, at the probably post-retirement era of a life, where a person is expected to be having a peace, some amount of sukoon or quietude. There, the children insulted and started taking belongings away from him, in front of him, not just belongings which are material, including certain spiritual belongings, some relics which were given, were touched by the divine or used by the divine individual, and they were kept so sacredly and safely that when it was being kept, it was not even touched by anybody. And here it is being pulled up like this with hand. This is also ours. This is also ours. And I just saw, and normally anybody would get frustrated or angry, and here this person was sitting quietly. It was a beautiful experience of Sthita Prajna. Just taking a book and, please take what you want to take, and reading the book. And your own loved ones for whom you have raised and you've taken care of, and invested so much energy, monetary, spiritual, emotions, everything. And that was the day I saw, wow, look at that. Look at that quietude, the quietude that remains. That was so beautiful. That was the Sthita Prajna, and that is the moment I try to cherish in my head as an example, because these are examples in life become sources of light at all difficult times. So it's all right. You can use them forever. So it's like that. He was a Sthita Prajna, and that is the beautiful example of the shloka where, because you're able to withdraw completely from everything. They even took away the one important, even the relics were not so important. Maybe they are important, but the closest to the heart was the photo of the mother of that person's. That individual mother's photo also was taken in front of him, saying, I saw this, there are certain webs on it, so it is not being maintained properly. I am taking this position also. And that individual just said, आज तो भगवान ने मेरे को संन्यास दे दिया, संन्यास दीक्षा दे दिया. Because कुल भी नहीं पूछते हैं योगी का. वो सन्यासी का कुल भी नहीं होता है, और that has also now my one connection was my mother. That also has been removed from me. So it's all right. Now I will experience sannyas. And at the same time, the individual never broke connections. She didn't say I don't want to talk, but the individual was able to remain in that state. So that is, I think, the Sthita Prajna, because otherwise, even wise people get carried away by the Indriyas. All the entire buddhi kind of, becomes, it goes on a vacation only because of anger, because of hatred. Yeah, Rachna ji is saying something.
Hijacked. No, hijacked. It becomes hijacked sometimes, the buddhi.
Hijacked. Yes, yes, yes. So if you see, when you are in that state of samatha, if you see the last part, and Krishna says in the 70, 71, 72, how long should you do it? First, he says how it is like rivers. Just like when many turbulent rivers converge and affect not the vast ethereal ocean when they merge. On reaching that Sthita Prajna or stable mind, all attraction dissolves, but not for that whose mind to the senses whim revolves. For that individual whose mind is just running after senses, that is not going to happen. But for an Sthita Prajna, it's like all rivers going into the sea, and the Shanti Sagar is never going to get disturbed. Calmness of the sea. And such a person is always peaceful, means that's a continuous state of peacefulness. Means just like how Anjali ji said, while dhyana, you can get into a state of thoughtlessness ultimately if we keep practicing and reach like that. Well, if you practice Sthita Prajna, at all times we are going to be peaceful. And the beautiful aspect of in your Sthita Pragnita, you will receive what we can say the higher Shruti. Krishna will come and whisper. You don't have to do anything. Even like this is not going to be required. Krishna will come and tell you this is the right moment. Do something. Do this. Or he will say, do nothing. I will do everything. Just watch and just see how the chakra moves. You get that observant. And how long should we aspire if we see with Sthita Prajna, we understand is completely becoming quiet and balanced in that state of samatha. How long? Krishna calls this, it's also called a Brahmi sthiti, that sthiti of oneness with the Brahman. Here he says, Esha Brahmi sthiti partha nainam prapya vimukhyati sthitvasyam antakalepi brahma nirvanam richati. O Arjuna, in this conscious state awakened, the veil of illusion is forever lifted. If the state up to the time of death is sustained, a merger with the infinite is then attained. He says, Array, you do this up to the entire prayana kala's moment also, at that moment also, keep that sthita pragnata, keep that balance. Well, what will happen if you keep that balance? We'll just look at that. Will be one small question I will ask now. But in the end, if you see, Krishna says, I am there. You are going, we will be absolutely one if you are able to keep that. I will be easily able to move forward in the next journey. But forgetting the next journey, if we are able to keep Sthita Pragnya till our final moment, say from today till our final moment, we are able to achieve Sthita Pragnya. Hypothetically, we assume we have achieved. How different will our life be? Irrespective of when that Antakala is, how will our life be different if we achieve this? I just request participants to share your insights. How different will our life be if we can? It's an achievable state, but if we have achieved it, for instance, what difference will be brought? Anyone? The journey henceforth with Sthita Pragna. Yes, Rachnaji? Yeah.
Everything that we do, we will not be conflicted.
So probably
Uh,
peaceful. It will be the inner conflict will not be there.
Sometimes we think, are we doing the right thing or the wrong thing, or are we on the right path or the wrong path? All those questions will not arise
Yeah.
because if the divine is working, then uh, ये भी अच्छा है और वो भी अच्छा है और जो हो
Mhm.
रहा है वो अच्छा है. I mean, he
Yeah.
knows, so I'm
Yes.
not even bothered about what is happening because
Yes.
that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's happening. Then the
Yeah.
question of is it fair? Is it fair on me? Why
Mm.
did this happen? All those things don't arise because why should anything be fair or anything? Those are all judgments at one level.
Yes.
When he is working, then it is just the requirement for me.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Isn't it?
It
We
is
will
just
be in a state of yoga.
what is required for me is happening. Whether it is a good thing, it is a bad thing, or an ugly thing. How, what am I learning in this moment? What is the
Yeah.
thing that God is trying to show me? And
Ji, ji.
everything that we have, like my cousin, she just lost her entire house in a fire recently.
Oh, Arey, sorry to hear that.
So what is the thing in this? Why?
Mm.
Why would such a thing happen? Again, it is to show a path. Maybe I'm moving away, or
Just may I
sometimes
interrupt
the
you one
judgments are
moment?
lost.
Yes,
Yes,
Rachnaji,
yes.
may I just interrupt you one moment? Because the fire, if you see, I think there was this California fires which had really made people lose lots and lots of homes, isn't it? There was a very interesting interview of an actor. You see, actors are generally looked down upon by a lot of people. Acting karte, they really don't stand by it. But that one actor's interview really moved me, or it felt very nice because that person he was displaying these traits of Sthita Pragnya. He said it's beautiful. He lost his family heirlooms. He lost some very special manuscripts which he had kept for there never before in the world. And he said, it's just so beautiful. It's all suddenly, for me, my entire life was there in that, and that house has just come to ashes in front of me. And I mean, they don't even follow this ultimate kriya of burning the sharira also. And yet, this individual was feeling that sense of how everything, it's like how say the Jnana Agni, Dagda Karmanam Bhasmasat Kurute Arjuna, the
Ignorance.
fire of knowledge, fire of realization. Suddenly, what means, what is Vairagya? Look at this individual. He has got a practical, maybe he would not have done so much sadhana to get this Vairagya which he got in one moment. It happened. So I think Rachnaji shared a beautiful example. Yes, so we will be able to see the light, isn't it, Ji, in all the moments then. So, okay, that is one thing. Yes, Ji, thank you. Anybody would like to add something more to what Rachnaji just shared?
Life
You
will
become
become peaceful.
Yes, Dr. Dhanviji, a life would become peaceful.
Peaceful,
How do you
yes.
say, Jim? It's just now you say Sthita Pragnya has come to you, and now, next henceforth, how is the journey going to be different? You are a doctor, isn't it? So, will you stop diagnosing cancer
No,
patients?
I will stop being affected by the things that are happening around me. But I'll be doing my work without
In
getting
the
affected.
sense, in the sense, example, something like how do we just maybe how I'll try to understand a little better, not getting
Uh,
affected.
Not getting affected in the sense, okay, so um, suppose there's a patient who came to talk to me, and when I heard what she was saying, her story, I got sad and I started
Yeah.
thinking about it. So in
Okay.
this stage, I would respond, but I won't be like, I won't keep thinking about
The
um
emotional,
the
because,
emotional part.
but it will not make you insensitive, isn't it?
No, it won't make me in that moment. I will help that person, but I won't carry forward
Yeah.
those imprints in me.
Yes. 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 And it's important sometimes to not become emotional or oversensitive in such moments, isn't it? Ji?
Because if I become that, the next case, what I'm seeing, I won't
Yes.
be able to do justice to that.
And even that case, you will not be able to really help that person through emotions, no?
Um,
Just only on means like I just my friend got diagnosed with this. I keep remembering it because that was had very much influenced me even while writing this book. Acute myeloid leukemia. She got it at a very early age, and the here and first thing I remember is though I had not seen that friend since we were in school in auto, and only once we had met in some cleaning up activity. I got very emotional, but I just quickly called and yeah, and just hi. I just got the news because my mother is a pathologist. She saw your case, and I just wanted to tell, do not worry. And she's like, I don't know what to do. My and she was just crying. Then I thought the first thing I come back to the city is I'll go meet her. But
mm,
while I was coming back to the city, while going up to meeting her, I still don't know what to say, isn't it? I mean,
True.
what am I going to say? How, and I cannot, and I, as a, at least you are a doctor, you can talk about prognosis and other things. For me, as a friend, I just wanted to say, I'm there, my friend, don't worry, but I don't have any knowledge, I don't have anything else. So I actually prayed to Krishna, ki, please let me speak something useful. I don't know what to do, and please let me not cry in front of her was my biggest prayer. Whatever happens, I'll cry outside, not in front of her, because I don't want to add to emotions, and emotional exchange will lead to further lowering. And so just she went, and then she told really funny, weird stories of how one uncle said it was because of eating idlis outside that she got it. And another person, and these are all very crazy. And she was in tears, and she was not able to see any light. And just I said, see, look around, who is there with you, and what I don't remember right now what I spoke exactly, to be honest. But
Mm,
I was not, I was just ensuring I don't get emotional and I speak something that's needed. And her sister, who had come back from Australia and all, she just told that, see, we were trying for last 2 days to tell the same thing. Thank you for saying exactly what we wanted to say. And I was like, Namaskar, thank you. Just please take good care of her. And I came out, and then I had my tears afterwards because it was a good friend of mine. But At least at that point, because I was not emotional, at least I could speak something which was not unnecessarily stupid. Means I know that uncle who told her also tried to give Sahanubhuti, but it was a weird way of giving Sahanubhuti, isn't it? It was
Yes.
all because of the idlis that you can. I mean, what diagnosis have you done and what is it going to help, isn't it? That was again emotions of that person, no? If you
Mm.
ask that individual today,
Mm.
do you stand by that statement? That person will say that was the most nonsense statement I ever made. I was little emotional at that time. But people do that, no, in a state of emotion. So yes, I think as Dr. Tanviji says that, yeah, we got to be, uh, we can say withdrawn, isn't it, at times, and we not get affected. That would help us. So yes, Dr. Tanviji, anything else you would like to add?
Life will become peaceful, I think. All the fluctuations that we experience in day-to-day life, they will slowly become calm and we will become peaceful if we are in that state.
It will be more joyous, isn't it?
Yeah,
You become
internally
Like
free.
joyous. Yes, blissful.
internally and even outer joy also we will get, but it will
True.
not be material. It will be a fulfilled life, no? We'll be truly living, no?
Yes, without attachments.
Without attachments. And we will be living a full life. And that is ultimately what even our Vedic rishis want from us.
Yes.
Because we call upon the favors of all the gods and the blessings of Swastina Indro, Vrudhashrava, Swastina Pusha, Vishwavedaha, Swastina Taksho, Arishtanemihi, Swastino Bruhaspatir. To all of you give your blessings. Blessings for what? Because Tirai Rangai Sushtavan Swastanavi Veshema Deva Hitam Yadayu. Isn't it? We want to be sthira anga. We'll be ready for what divine work is given to us by our gurus, by our Bhagwan, by our Aradhya, or whatever work is required. For that, we have to be available. And in life, unless we are available for the divine, otherwise our life can go just like that. And we will keep telling that we are busy, we are busy, we are busy. And life just passes. So we become conscious to things that matter really around us in our life experience. So that's another reason why we have to have that Sthita Pragnya Sthiti, meaning a samatha which is extended and which is not going to be disturbed by outer occasions. So yes, please, if
Yes.
anybody else wishes to ask or share something, we conclude otherwise today's session. Mm. So I think if we are to take a take home point is let us try to practice Sthita Pragnata henceforth from today onwards to the Prayana Kala, which is going, let us hope it is the farthest away from today. But every day, let us try to practice that and experience the joy. And Krishna's company is a lot of fun. If we experience that, it's going to be, and the only way we'll be able to see Krishna's working is when we are having Sthita Prajna, because he has given a very premium package of subscription from for Krishna's way of life. Subscription and getting benefits, you have to get this subscription of Krishna's way with Sthita Pragnata only. Yes, please.
Ruchi, the book that Usha Maji, you all have published, Child,
Ji. Yes, ji.
that is an amazing book. Thank you so much for
Oh, please convey to Usha
publishing.
Maji that yes, you can share it in the group because Maji does
But
read.
I don't think that is available. In fact, I was asking because I wanted to send it to
I
so
think
many of
some.
my
Okay, I'll
friends
just try
and
to.
cousins.
Thank you for telling that. I think we had some issue with the ISBN, so we may have to. I'll try to make that available
If
again.
that
We had
happens,
printed it.
it's a
Yeah.
wonderful book for all of us. Like so many questions were asked today. So,
Mm.
like the way she interacts with life every day, it's so
Yeah.
so playful. It's so playful. Like, what
Krishna
is
is
he
her
telling me?
child.
Krishna is her
Yeah.
child, and so
Yeah.
that is such a wonderful way to
Mm.
just live. That you know,
Yes.
simple,
Yes. For those who
very
don't know,
playful.
Usha Maji, Usha Maji had attended one of our sessions before, and afterwards she wrote a book. She's an artist, and I think Anjali ji knows better. She can tell. She is connected to Anjali ji, isn't it? Your friend or
She's my
family?
first,
I don't know.
she's my first cousin, my father's
Okay. Yeah.
brother's
Please tell
daughter.
me. Yes. Please tell
Uh,
us about her.
I
Yeah.
had visited her a week ago
Okay.
in Bangalore. So it's very interesting actually. I've also been trying to invite some of her practices When
So
she
what are
says,
her practices of that, the child
that's what
connection?
she's in perpetual conversation with the child. She not imagines, she says, the child is always with me. So whenever she, texts me, she says, oh, child told me this, child asked me to do this. Recently, she had a fall and
Yeah,
she sprained her feet. So she was telling
yeah,
me, I would have actually fallen on my head, on my back, but the child came and stopped me. He came and protected me. He held me from behind and stopped me from where I,
yeah.
slipped. So there was not much of a damage without a fracture or a ligament tear. And there are times when
Okay.
she tells me, see, now child is sitting on my lap and we're having a conversation. So you
Yeah,
actually feel the presence of the child with her
yeah,
throughout. Everything
yeah,
that she does, it's like somebody is always tagging along with her, like a child holding on to the mother's pallu. The child is always with her and she's in perpetual conversation with the child. So
yeah,
everything that she does or says, she says, oh, child told me to do this. I did, or child advised me to do this. So
yeah,
it's all, and even when
yeah.
she, in spite of her illness, she still
Yes,
paints and she continues her art
yes,
and she still does such beautiful, lovely paintings. And she says,
yes,
"No, I didn't do this." So whenever I ask her, and I tell her, "Oh, they're so lovely," so she says, "No, I didn't do them. The child did them. I
yes,
didn't do any of them." So everything is
yeah,
attributed, good or bad.
absolutely.
Everything is,
Yes,
done by the child.
yes.
So that's such a beautiful way of what do I
Looking
say?
at things, isn't it?
Looking
It's
at
an
things.
experience. It's an experience, and just
Can I
suppose
add one
Anjali.
more?
Yes,
Can I
Rajshri.
add
Yes,
one more
please.
thing?
Yeah.
Usha is my husband's cousin. So she was
Okay.
telling me somebody went to Sandeepani Ashram recently, her husband, somebody from her
Yeah.
husband's side. So they got a stone for her. She just asked for a stone. She didn't want anything else. The stone, she says a stone is like just like a small mobile. Anjali, you must be knowing
Hmm.
that. A
Hmm.
small mobile, and she's kept it just near her bed, just beside the bed. And every night before she goes to sleep, she just takes a phone. It's like talking to the child, talking to
Yeah.
Krishna. It's like Krishna's phone for her. And she
Yes.
tells everything, the whole day,
Yes.
whatever she went through. The moment you hear that, you feel, well, you should be doing that. But I think by the end of
Absolutely.
the day,
Very
I
rightly
forget
said,
it.
actually,
So
Rajshri.
beautiful.
Yes.
Totally like when you're sleeping. That's one thing I've learned from her.
So yes, and how this all originated was in our when we keep the session, we talked about having a personal relation. We talked about prana pratishtha can be done in temples, prana pratishtha can be done in so many places, but can we not do that in our life? And like make the divine alive in our life and whichever form, whichever, let us form a association. And she just messaged that, see, I cannot have any associations other than my grandchild if I look at Krishna as my grandchild. And from that day onwards, she very strongly said, this is child. And I remember in the start, she said, is this madness? What am I doing? There is no need to define anything, whatever it is. You let it go. If it continues, it will continue. If it is going to stop, but now it's been years. And then the child brought her a book, and you will not believe the day of the book was interestingly on this. We did not plan it also. The release of the book happened exactly on the day she got admitted in the hospital and she was fighting for life. 17 years later, it was even her husband was. They were just having a tea, and at that time they were discussing just a few days before. Okay, it is on this day, and they were both shocked because you've booked everything in 17 years later, and that time, 17 years before, she was lying almost lifeless, eyes rolled up. Her husband had to take her to the armed forces hospital where he had to sign a particular line of treatment which was not yet authorized and with the risk. He said, it's all right. If there's a hope, let us. He just signed it that time, and now so many years, and she has continuous pain. It's not that she does not have pain. She has pain, and yet she smiles so much. And once she very beautifully said, when I have a lot of pain on my right leg, I say, Krishna, now please, the child, sit on the other leg now. This leg is hurting. So this is an
Truly
experience. It's
amazing.
good we talked about Usha Maji today because let us all try to establish some relation and we will experience it. And it's in the experiences we have seen a practical. It's like we all look for reference, we look for proof. Living proof is one person already. You can do if you wish to also share something for Maji, you can share in the group whatever you felt inspirational about her. It will be nice. She will pass it on to the child. That's ultimately what we want. Yes.
Kushadji, I just got this thought. This is such a beautiful story shared by
Yeah.
Rashmi ji and Rajshri ji
Yeah.
on Usha
Yes,
Maji,
sir.
also Anjali ji. Uh, in the next class, if you can spend a little time on shlokas which denote this quality, which is seeing Krishna everywhere. Such a beautiful
Okay.
quality to have.
Okay.
What a
Right, sir.
beautiful quality. I mean,
Great, sir.
one is we are doing sadhana, but one is you're so ashrit and you're so connected to the Lord. And in a very joyful way, playful sing, you're saying.
Yes.
Please bring
Yes. Yes.
some of those shlokas and it will be so lovely to
Fine,
see.
sir. Let's look at that, sir. Yeah, great idea, sir. Absolutely. Because Krishna says that Vasudevam Sarvamiti. It's a rare quality, but it is a quality which can be cultivated by us. Yes, sir. Let's conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishnam Vande Jagatkuram. Punarmilama. Namaskar. Next Saturday. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Those who wish to join correspondence to share
Hari
with
Om
them, it is
Saraswati.
tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Namaskar. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Thank you.